Yo guys, Crush the Developer back with another epic tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to make one of these. No, not this. A gun. One of the most advanced warfare technology ever invented by humans. There's no doubt that this form of weapon is prevalent among thousands, if not millions of Roblox games. Sniper Arena, Prisoner Life, Jailbreak, even Slapback. They all include this very game element, and I'll be walking you through every step of creating your own, from scripting the gun logic to adding audio effects and visual interfaces. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, before you start, the first thing you need to have is a gun tool. Now, if you don't have one already, I suggest you go get one from the toolbox or make your own. But continuing on, I assume that you already have a gun tool to begin with, so if you don't have one already, feel free to pause the video and then resume once you do. But now let's go ahead and add local script, and remote event. We'll rename the remote event to shoot and keep the script and the local script the same. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a invisible part, so we'll add a part. We'll name it muzzle. We'll make it really small, so set it to 0.1, 0.5 would be bad. Now we'll drag it straight into the area we want our bullet to go off of. So right here should be good. I'm just going to resize it a little bit. I'll keep it right here. Nice, and I'll make the part invisible. You can glide off. And we're going to go ahead and add in a weld constraint to weld this to our handle part. So we'll open up the properties, select part 0, click on the muzzle, go back to properties, select part 1, go to explore, then click handle. So we actually have our parts binding. Nice. Now we can go ahead and go to the local script and start working with things. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to refer to the gun, so local gun equals script.parent. Then we'll go ahead and get the local player, so local player equals game, get service, players, dot local player. We'll go ahead and get the player's mouse, so local mouse equals local player colon get mouse. We'll also get the user's input service, so we can capture user input for gunshots and reloading. So we'll do game get service, user input service. Awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and create some variables and we'll use. The first variable we're going to create are going to be our current bullets, our bullets per magazine, and the amount of ammunition we have in total. We'll set the current bullets to 10. I'll have 10 bullets per magazine, and the ammunition will say 50. Alright, nice. Now we're going to add some booleans. So local equipped and reloading equals false, comma, space false. Now we're going to go ahead and enable reloading whenever our gun is equipped. So gun.equipped connect function. Equipped equals true, and then when the gun is unequipped, we'll simply make it false. Now we're going to go ahead and refer to our shoot event, so local shoot event equals gun, wait for child, shoot. Now we're going to go ahead and do uis.input began, we'll connect the function, and then we'll say input right here. So we're going to actually receive user input, and we're going to check to see if we receive a certain, so we'll say if input.user input type equals enum.userinputType.mouseButton1. Nice. So we have a mouse click. Then we're going to go ahead and check if the current bullets we have is greater than 0, so we have any bullets to shoot, and if our gun is equipped. If so, then we're going to go ahead and fire up the shoot event. Oh, one more thing we can do. Local muzzle equals gun from the child, muzzle. Alright, we'll do muzzle.position, comma space, and then mouse.hit.position. Alright, cool. So we're going to go ahead and go over to the server script, and then we'll refer to the gun again. Local gun equals script.parent, local event equals gun, with the child, shoot, and then we'll do local damage here. I'll say 12. So we'll do event.onThreEvent connect function, muzzle position, and mouse position. Now before we continue the server script, let's see how it'll work. When a player triggers a gun, an invisible ray is cast on the muzzle position. The ray's direction is determined by the difference of the mouse hit position and the muzzle position. Now, if the ray hits an object, it will check to see if it hit a player. If not, nothing happens. If so, then it will be registered as a gunshot and the player will take damage. It will also create a visual tracer of the ray to simulate a bullet projectile. Oh, and another thing, we need to make sure that we are not reloading when we try to fire a weapon. So we'll say, and not reloading, and there. Now let's go ahead and work on the server script. So we're going to do local raycastparams equals raycastparams.new. We'll say raycastparams dot, oh, we also need to play right here. Actually, cast params instead. So we'll say cast params.filter descended instances equals, and then we'll create a table showing the player, including player character. We're gonna do this way. When we do the raycast on the player, it doesn't register our own player as damaged. And then we'll do cast params.filter type equals enum.filter type.exclude. So we're going to basically exclude that character instead of include. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do local raycast equals workspace on raycast and then multiple position. Oh, we'll also have to define the direction. So local direction equals mouse position subtracted by the muzzle position. So the muzzle position on space, direction, and apply our cast parameters. Okay, then we'll say if raycast, so the raycast is successful, then we'll do local raycast instance equals raycast.instance. Now we're going to say if raycast instance find first ancestor, which is a model wafer child humanoid, then, and we'll put comma space 0.1. Alright, nice. Then we'll say local humanoid equals this right here. And then we're going to go ahead and have the humanoid take damage. We'll say damage right here. Another thing we also have to do is create the ray tracer. So we're going to say raycast tracer. We'll say local tracer equals instance.new heart, comma space, workspace. Now we'll go ahead and make the tracer anchored equals true. We'll also make it really small, so the size is going to be vector3.new. We'll say 0.2, comma space, 0.2, comma space, and then we're going to go ahead and get the distance. We'll say local distance equals mouse position minus muzzle position dot magnitude. So we'll put distance right here. Now we'll go ahead and make it so we can't collide through, so we can't collide equals false. We'll set the color to yellow, so we'll do color3.new, and then we're just gonna make the yellow color. We'll set the material to neon as well, so tracer.material equals enum.material.neon. Alright, so we have it anchored. Our size is going to be 0.2 for x and y axis, but the z axis is going to be distance. So now the last thing is we need to make sure it actually looks at the same direction. So also we need to do tracer.position. So we're going to set it to the midpoint. Now the midpoint is going to be the sum of the mouse position and the muzzle position divided by 2. Congratulations, you just learned basic physics. Now we're going to go ahead and do this. So we're going to say, actually, cframe.new, and we'll do this position right here. And the lookout is going to be the same direction that we had from earlier. And then after the raycast is done, it will do tracer dot. Also, we'll do game get service debris add item tracer, and it will give it 0.2 seconds of the lifetime. So this service basically gives the tracer a certain lifetime before it's automatically deleted. So let's go ahead and test our system right now. So now if we start, we should see that our tracer works properly. So if we click again, as you can see, we have a working tracer. I'll go ahead and decrease the lifetime to 0.05 so it disappears faster. Now I'll actually have the tracer outside this raycast thing, so it'll still show a raycast tracer even if the raycast thing doesn't hit an object, just so we know that we fired the weapon. So now we can go ahead and click this. If we click this, we get our ray tracer, and as you can see, we have our tracer correctly working. So it tracks our ray and where we hit something. Now let's go ahead and test it on an actual character. So I'm going to go to Toolbox, and I'm going to search the character. Do not ask any questions, guys. I am not a furry. We're going to go ahead and add it right here. Give it a good name. And we're going to go ahead and test this out. So if we test it out, then we got this furry weapon. Apparently it doesn't work. Oh, hold on. I think the reason why we don't see the health bar going down is because it's not shown on. I think I need to enable this and check the health display type. And that should be it. So now if we go back here, if we actually try it now, we can see the player's damage going down and eventually they die. Right now we have the server system done. Now it's time to go back here and change some stuff. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that the current bullets get subtracted by 1, so we lose a bullet every single time we hit something. Now we're going to go ahead and go over here and create a function called reload, so function reload. Now we're going to check some things to make sure we can actually reload our weapon. First, we need to check if the current bullets aren't already full. So if current bullets is less than the bullet magazine and ammunition is greater than 0, then we're going to go ahead and make some wait time. So I'll say 3 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and try to check to see if the ammunition rate, no, we do local bullets needed equals bullets per magazine subtracted by the current bullets. Now, if we don't have enough ammunition to suffice for our bullets needed, Then what we're simply going to do is we're just going to add everything from the ammunition to the current bullets and make the ammunition 0. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and subtract the ammunition by the amount of bullets needed, and then add that to our current bullets right here. So now we're going to go ahead and make sure we're going to write it down here. We'll say else if inputs.keycode equals enum.keycode.bar. Then we're going to go ahead and call the reload function right here. Nice. And we're going to go ahead and make ssure that we add something to print here. So we'll say reloading. And then right here we'll say print bullets slash, and then add some more brackets here. We'll do bullets per. There, that should work. Alright, so now if we go ahead and join the game and we have our weapon out, we'll just actually just shoot wherever we want. So we see right here that we are losing our bullets, and when we have no more, we can't shoot. And if we go ahead and press R, we are actually reloading, so we're just gonna wait. And that should be 6 seconds, so we'll try again. We can actually still launch our weapon. And nice. So now we're gonna go back here and make sure that we set reloading to true, so the player doesn't try to shoot the weapon while they don't have their the reloading finished. Then we'll go ahead and say reloading is false. After that, we'll print saying reloaded weapon. Alright, nice. So we finally finished the gun. We finally finished the main gun launch. Now we can go ahead and work on cosmetics like the audio and visual effects. So some audio that I'm gonna add is a gunshot audio. So I'll say gunshot. I'll search in audio. I'll see which one fits for me. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll go ahead and use that. So now if we go ahead and I'll drag it to the muzzle right here. If I go to the script, if I do local gunshot equals gun, wait for child. Actually, no. Yes. Wait for child, muzzle, wait for child, gunshot. And then right here, we'll just say gunshot, play. And then I'll go ahead and find a reload sound. So I think this is a good one right here. So we'll go ahead and insert this one. Okay, that's way too much. Nice, now we have our reloading gun, so I'll go ahead and add it to the muzzle as well. And that way when we go over here, we'll do local gun reloading sound equals muzzle, wait for child, gun reloading. And then we'll go ahead and add here, we'll say gun reloading sound, play. So now we'll have a gun reloading sound playing whenever we reload. So right now we're gonna go ahead and try to shoot. Right, so we have a weapon working, and now we don't have the sound. So now if we reload our weapon, we can hear the reload sound with it, and it gives more effect and more interactivity. The thing that we need to do is add an in-game HD or GUI frame. So we'll go ahead and add screen GUI. We'll say gun GUI. I'll go ahead and create a frame, add a text labels. Add 2 text labels. One of them will be showing the gun's name, so gun name. The other one will show gun bullets, and I'll go ahead and customize this. Alright, so I finished decorating my UI. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the final touches with this plugin. Now, a good rule of thumb when creating GUI is to add placeholder text so you can actually see how good it looks. And if it satisfies you, we're going to go ahead and drag it down to the gun tool. And we'll go ahead and do local gun GUI equals gun, child, gun GUI. Now we're going to go ahead and do inside the equip function, we'll do gun GUI.parent equals local player.player GUI. And then we'll say gun GUI equals local player.player GUI with child. And then we'll say gun GUI, just in case the script thinks it's nil. Now we're going to go ahead and do gun GUI.parent equals gun. Nice. Now we're going to go ahead and add update GUI function. So we'll say function update GUI. And then right here we'll say gun GUI.frame. Gun name is going to be the player's name. No, the gun's name. So gun.name. I'll make the gun name. I'll say pistol F417. That sounds good. Alright. Now we'll go ahead and add in gun GUI.frame.text, gun bullets.text. I'll make sure I add .text here as well. Equals, and then add these 2 brackets right here. Put a slash and a space over here. We'll do current bullets, and then bullets per magazine. Actually, no, instead, we'll do ammunition instead. We'll update our GUI right here, and every time we shoot, we'll also update our GUI. Then we'll say update GUI. No, when we lose something, we'll update our GUI. And then we're going to go ahead and update GUI here. We'll say if reloading, then gun GUI.frame.gun name.text equals, and then reloading. Alright, so that should be it. If we go ahead and test it right now. So if we enter in the play mode and we equip our weapon, we can see the amount of current bullets we have and the total ammunition we have. And you know what? We'll actually go ahead and just add in, we'll go ahead and change this a bit, and we'll go to the gun bullets. We'll open this up right here. And instead of doing that, we'll just add this right here. And there can be small text over here where it says gun ammunition. Here, that should be. Now I'll put it right here. I'll take the text off. I'll drag it back to the pistol, and then we're gonna go ahead and do instead here we'll do bullets per magazine. We'll do gun GUI.frame gun ammunition.text equals ammunition, and that would look better. So let's go ahead and join the game again. And we load up our weapon. We can see how many bullets we have right now in the bullets per magazine and the total bullets that we have. So if we just shoot our weapon, so we can't shoot anymore. If we reload, it doesn't say that we're reloading. I think I know why. If we go back again, I forgot to add it right here. So if I do reload, we'll say reloading true, and then we'll update our GUI. And after, we'll do it before and after we set it up. Now we'll go ahead and start again. And if we test it again, now it says our gun's reloading. We can't shoot as of now. And then if we shoot again, our gun works. We reload. And we can't do it. So I'll keep repeating this until I have no more ammo. Now I have no bullets, and if I try to reload, I'm no longer able to reload because I have no more ammunition to reload from. Now, one more thing that we need to do is make sure that we can't infinitely reload. So we need to check if we are already reloading. If we are, no, we're going to check if we're not reloading. Then we can go ahead and turn on we're going to go ahead and call the reload function. That way, when a player wants to reload their weapon, they're not spamming the reload button and then you have a glitch, a bug. And that is how you make a gun in Roblox Studio. From the gun logic to the raycast tracer, the audio, and visual elements, this is your own new gun. And you should be proud of yourself. And if you really enjoyed this video and thought it was really helpful, you should consider subscribing to my channel since I love to upload tutorials like these. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.